think that was really the turning point, is when we realized that it wasn't going to work if we kept going the way we were going
Hmm.
with, the standard structure of having a label and a management and all these different people involved. It just wasn't sustainable. And I do feel like that's the kind of industry standard, and why a lot of bands break up is because they try to make it work, but with so many people involved, there's really not much left for the artist.
It's all or nothing, blood in, blood out. You either bleed for this or get the fuck out.
Ruben, it's been a busy weekend for you, to say the least, these
Oh
last few
yeah.
days. How are you doing? I mean, a fun way to release an album with actual shows, that's always fun. Doesn't happen a lot for bands these days anymore, but you must be tired right now.
Oh yeah, we just got back off of 4 shows. We had a whole weekend planned. We did El Paso, Lubbock, Fort Worth, and OKC, Oklahoma City. So it was a full weekend. It was a lot of fun. We just rolled out a whole new production and like all this crazy stuff. So it was a great time, and it seems like everybody's loving the new album. So we couldn't be more happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And on top of all of that, you are also releasing this album independently for the first time. Um, how how different is that for you, this cycle? Because I can only imagine that everybody's wearing a lot more hats these days than before. So how's that going?
Oh my gosh, it was a lot of hard work, but in the end, we love having control over our music and our creativity and being able to release things the way we want to. We really stretched out the album so people can really absorb the songs a lot better. We felt
Hmm.
like that's something we've been wanting to do for years and years, even when we're on a label. But a lot of times that doesn't fall with their release schedule and stuff like that. So they really want you to drop, on their schedule.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's been the biggest thing for us, is just being able to release music the way we want to, and be more consistent with it. And so, I mean, all the work that went into this, it feels so good knowing that people are loving the album, and
Hmm.
it feels like all the hard work is paid off. So, and yes, from ordering all the physicals to coming up with the artwork, everything is just us. There's no management. There's nobody else is involved. All we have is our booking agent and us, and that's
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It you're not the you're not the first or only higher profile band that is taking control back in a way. We've seen a few other artists in the last 2 years, take that same jump. How do you look at this trend in like the bigger evolution of the music industry? Because if it does feel like both artists and fans want to engage with music in just a different way. What's your take on that?
Well, I could speak for ourselves, is that it was mainly about survival. Like we noticed the way the climate was changing, and like streaming, obviously it does not pay for it doesn't pay artists well,
Mm-hmm.
and going independent seemed to be the only way we can survive as a band and keep things going. And I think that's why the climate is changing, is because there's no longer albums to be sold where you can make revenue in that way and generate revenue for artists. So really the only option is to go independent and keep everything, keep the royalty splits for yourselves and make it work. And I think that's the only reason why we've survived so long as a band, is making that change. Because there has been points where we're like, how can we do this? Like we want to keep going, but it becomes a question of like how can we sustain this if we're just making so little, and we have families that we have to take care of, and it's so for us it was a necessity, and so we're
Mm-hmm.
just like, let's go for it. And it was the perfect time, the perfect storm. We have nothing but good things to say about the labels we're on. They did help us grow, but I think when we took a step back and saw our fans, they would follow us to the end of the earth. So we're just like, let's go for it and let's go independent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Would your fans follow you on stage to do like a live hot sauce test with the new hot
That's
sauce
a
that
good
came out?
idea. That's a great idea. We actually had a fan chug one at one of our shows, and
Oh,
he's like, "This is really good." He chugged the whole bottle, and he's like, "I'm gonna get another one. This is really good."
that can't be healthy.
I know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey, it's all natural. It's all natural ingredients. So maybe
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I have a feeling that that fan is gonna enjoy that sauce the next morning twice as hard. All right, all right. But okay, so in all seriousness, like this change and like the survival of the band from a financial perspective, first and foremost. One then of is it the most prominent or one of the scars that I think the album has been described as like a battle cry with anthems built on scars that we got throughout the journey. There's a lot of ways to interpret that. Personal scars, band, musical collective. So it is the album talking about that journey? Is there other stuff that we need to dig a little deeper for?
No, I think it is a testament of how far we've come, and all
Mm-hmm.
the things we've gone through as a band, from members going and coming, and just being able to keep this band alive, and going through all the labels, and even the past bad press that we've received, all these things that have happened to us in the past, and still being able to be here and being able to perform and have great, amazing shows, and I think it's just a true testament on how far we've come, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a taste of also what's to come, and where we're going, and how we're trying to just evolve and keep
Yeah.
keep growing as a band, and that's the thing for us. It's always been about evolution, and like how what's the next step, and where are we going. So I think for this point in time, it really cements that, and lets people know, like, we're here to stay, and we're going to keep this thing going, no matter how it happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that you arrived to that conclusion, if you will, but you also used the term survival a few times already. Does that mean that, I mean, you say now, like, yeah, we're here to stay and, we are, full speed ahead. But does that mean that in the last few years, there were moments where you were questioning whether or not this could
Yeah.
go on?
Yes, 100%. And I think that was really the turning point, is when we realized that it wasn't going to work if we kept going the way we were going,
Mm-hmm.
with the standard structure of having a label and a management and all these different people involved. It just wasn't sustainable, and I do feel like that's the kind of industry standard, and why a lot of bands break up is because they try to make it work, but with so many people involved, there's really not much left for the artist.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them have to go home and work 3 or 4 jobs, and do Uber Eats and do all this crazy stuff to make it work. And I think it gets draining, and eventually you just burn out, and you want to just call it quits. And so for us, what we did when that moment came, we were just like, you know what, let's just get rid of everybody. Let's start fresh, and let's see if we can make it happen. And
Mm-hmm.
to our surprise, it started working out, and we were like, okay, this is much better. We're comfortable now. We can survive. We can feed our families, and we can keep this going. So yeah, it was definitely a moment where we were just like, what are we gonna do? We're either gonna stop because this isn't gonna work, or we're gonna keep trying
Yeah.
and just start from scratch. And so that's what we did.
Till there's nothing left. Boom, bitch, kill shot.
Lots of heavy topics and feelings and emotions, but also it kind of also it became a fun album as well, which is, sometimes it's a bad word to use in like serious music. It's like, hey, we talk about serious stuff and it's all these emotions. But there's also a lot of fun with this record as well, I find. So I think that'll resonate with your fans, whether or not they chug hot sauce during concert.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a Texas thing. Texas has always been part of your identity. There's a lot of Texas pride, and for people that I'm a European that moved to Canada, and for there's a lot of stereotypes about Texas outside of the US. But when people actually visit, people are amazed to see how big Texas really is, but also how diverse it is, and what a melting pot of different ideas and different backgrounds and whatnot. And I feel that fuels your music. How has Texas pride, to call it that, from 2005 when the band was getting started to today, like how has that changed? Because Texas has also changed a lot in the last 20 years.
Yes, 100%. I really think what it means for us is just where we started and where we came from, and just being able to own the state and tour so much when we're getting started, and that's really what lifted us and brought us to where we are today is the state and all the support we got from every all the small towns here, and just we toured and toured and toured at the beginning, and then we started getting the national acts, and we started opening up for all the national acts because we were the Texas band, to be on the shows. And so I think for us, that's where the pride comes from, is more so in the fans that we have here, and and they're just so diehard, and Texas is just such a metal state. Like they just love heavy metal, so it's always been a big part of our personality, and what we put into our music.
Yeah. Who out
We
of the
feel like
three of you?
there's not a lot of places that you can be like, a lot of states that are as iconic as Texas where you can kind of be
Sure.
prideful, and we're like, yeah, this is, so for us it was always a big thing. We would travel outside of the state and people would be like, are you guys still riding horses? And like they had no idea. Like I was like, no, we have cars. And like, when we first started getting out of the state, and it was just so funny hearing all these stories, and then taking our culture out. Like we would also like barbecue for people that we would stay at their houses, and they're like, I've never had anything like this. And I was like, well, that's just something that we bring from home, so it's really cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Yes. As someone who's been to Texas many times, both for work and for music, I love to go to the House of Heroes Festival every year. Different kind of metal, but anyway, I can attest there are cars in Texas.
Yes. 100%.
If one of the three of you was sent into the Texas desert with just a pocket knife, who's the first one to not survive?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe Thomas. I don't know. I feel bad. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus.
Right.
We all have our different strengths.
There you go. Good man.
I just say Thomas because he's younger, but I don't know. It's just
Yeah. You're playing a lot of live shows. You've always played a lot of live shows. You are a live band. You've done a few already as we're talking to promote the new album. There's got more coming. There's a lot. You've always been known for like insane breakdowns as well, and surprising hooks and twists and turns that we don't always expect from more generic bands, if you will. With this new album, any of those breakdowns or twists that as you're playing them live, they almost break you?
I would say "Insatiable Hunger" is by far the craziest song on the album, and yes, that one does pose a challenge. Like it's so fast, and it changes constantly. So sometimes it does throw me for a loop. It's a hard one. So, yeah, but I think that one to me is a culmination of where, like, the beginning of our career and the very crazy, intense stuff, to also the melodicness. So we really try to combine everything, and the Spanish influence as well. So there's just a ton in that song.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap us up with two questions. One silly one serious one. We'll do the silly one first, because we're talking about breakdowns. If let's say that you got the power to, for one show only, to replace every breakdown with just like an animal sound, what animal sound would you throw at your fans without them expecting it?
Probably a bull or a cow. That might be the best one, I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It would. I'm sure that would create some fun scenes in the pit when people start to do that. All right, serious question though. It's been a long journey for you guys, and you've gone through a roller coaster. Through all this change, and with like the explosion that happened in 2012, 13, when the band really accelerated. what's been one thing for you that's like non-negotiable? Like no matter how the band changed, no matter how the scene's changing, what for you cannot change?
I think the energy that we bring is really what I try to strive for is just we want people to come and just let loose and have fun and at our shows. So I really love to keep the energy high as much as possible. And you know whether we're writing an anthem or a melodic song, I feel like the energy still has to be there. And also I think our message as well. It's changed over the years, but I think now we realize that we have the power to encourage people and to influence them and just have a powerful message, and so that's
Hmm.
changed as well. It's still having fun. We still have our fun songs, but I think for the serious ones, we've noticed how people come up to us and they tell us how much it means to them. So, I think that's a huge thing for us as well.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Ruben, thank you so much for your time today. Went on a day that you should be recharging and just relaxing. So you should go back to doing that as soon as you can because you have to get ready for a ton more shows. It's going to be busy for you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful end of the year with friends and family before the craziness of 2026, gets going. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you on the stage soon.
Thank you so much. You too.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.